Hello friends, my name's Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm doing a 3 bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home in The Sims 4. For this home, I was trying to go for some realism. You can see I made a garage, but it technically doesn't work because we don't have cars, hopefully, yet. And I added light switches. There's a laundry machine in the garage. I was just trying to go for a house that you could really live in. So we are going to be starting off in the entryway. I was having some trouble with choosing packs for this video, and so I decided to use a random pack generator, and I did generate it a few times because I wanted the packs to work together, and I ended up with the Growing Together expansion pack, the Toddler's Stuff pack, and the Laundry Day stuff pack. So that's kind of one reason why I'm using Laundry Day in this video, is because it is a required item, and so we are just going to be working on this entryway, well, kind of more finishing up this entryway, and now we're just going to be adding some little items for the kids. This is a family home, and it has space for a child, toddler, and infant, and now we are going to be working on the family space. So I did want to keep this very open concept, and I think style I was going for was kind of like updated craftsman, and so we are just going to be finding some chairs for this space. I wanted to keep this big green chair. I do change it to be more of a tan leather color, but I wanted to keep that shape of the couch, and I was having some trouble finding a shorter couch to put in the other areas. This is a home that I was deciding that would be for a lot of entertaining, especially in the backyard. First, we're just going to be adding some chairs for a dining table. This is a pretty open concept floor plan, except for the kitchen. I wanted to keep it kind of separated. One, just so I could use the archway that came with the Growing Together pack, and so we just can make a little like dining nook area. It's kind of like part of the hallway, but I still wanted to make sure that your Sims could have a place where they could eat a family dinner around. And now we are going to be making a little play space. I did want this area of the house to be very multifunctional. So there's a kid play area, there's a dining table, and there is a living space. And I feel like it just kind of makes sense to all have it in this area, so it's like easy for the parents to keep track of their kids if they're in the kitchen or even if they're in the backyard. And so we are just going to be adding some curtains and going to be adding some items for infants, so your Sims aren't putting their children or infants on the bare floor. So I do change this window out to match the window in the playroom. I was going back and forth before I recorded this video of like, oh, should this be like individual windows or should it be one big window? And I did end up going with the one big window. It just at this point I was thinking of the small individual windows, and so we are just going to be adding a little bit of more children and infant toys to play with for this room. And I wanted to add some like shelves on the side because I figured that there would be like toy storage or possibly like diapers or an entertainment system would be in these shelves. I guess technically they're wardrobes, but I wanted to use them more of like a living room clothes storage space. And now we are just going to be adding a little stuffed animal to put in the corner of this room and going to be finishing up this living room. I do add some pillows onto the two-seater couch. You'll have to watch the screenshots towards the end of the video to see what color those pillows end up being. And I did want to add a lot of these family picture frames that you can put your own Sims pictures in. I really wanted this to be a family centered home, and so we are just going to be adding some art supplies or craft supplies into this little coffee table and going to be in the kitchen now. And so wanted this kitchen to be pretty simple. So it just has the appliances are from the Growing Together pack, and then the countertops are from the base game. My new favorite countertops from this update, or this like second most recent update, I think. So we are just going to be adding a little island space. This is a pretty large kitchen, but this is also a pretty large family, so I feel like it all works itself out. I do add a dishwasher, so hopefully that makes it easier for your Sims. It can help your children or child with responsibility, and so I do just keep the upper cabinets on that one wall so it doesn't like interfere with the windows under the kitchen or above the sink, I mean. So we are just going to be adding a rug in onto this back door. I wanted the pattern from the back door to match the pattern on the front door. And now we're just going to be finishing up this space. I'm just going to be adding some aprons and going to be adding some shelving in between the two windows since I didn't put any cabinetry in this area. I still wanted to have some storage and to make sure that the space fill, felt filled, and so we are just going to be adding some books. Wanted this area to feel very cozy, and I feel like having a nice little book collection made sense in this space. So we are just going to be finding a little toys that I kind of forgot about, but when I saw it, I'm like, yes, that makes perfect sense to go in the playroom area of the living room. And so we are still working on this bookshelf area. It was kind of hard to like get all the books to like not be floating or to like not be like halfway off of the shelf. So we are just going to be finishing up that area and going to be adding some more kitchen details. I didn't add too many things onto the counter because I just kind of forgot. I got distracted by the bookshelf area, but I do go back after the video because I'm like, oh wait, kind of forgot to do this space, and I do add some items into this kitchen. And so now we're just going to be finding a plant to put in the corner and working on the half bath off of the kitchen. I always feel like it's nice to have like a bathroom area right off of the garage area, just kind of like some kind of have it be realistic. But I feel like the bathroom was a little too small. I am designing this home to house a toddler, and toddlers have their own special potties, and so I needed to adjust the bathroom slightly for that reason, and I do end up making it more of a square space instead of a rectangle space, and we do adjust the bathroom now, and I do like make a little area cut off, but I was thinking that that would be more of like a utility area. I'm not using the for rent pack, but I was imagining that like this area could like house the like water heater, and so we are just going to be adding a little laundry area. I find it realistic in some house floor plans to have a garage slash laundry room, and since this area isn't technically a functional garage, it's just like a exterior, it looks like a garage. I wanted to have the laundry room over here, and I do wanted this area to be a more of like a multi-purpose space. So obviously we have the laundry. I do also add a woodworking table and a little art slash gym corner. And so right now we're just kind of like reworking this space to fit all of these different hobbies I had in mind. And so I wanted to use this piece from the laundry day pack for just like more storage. I was thinking that it could be like an antique piece that they just kind of have in the garage just for like storage. So we are just going to be adding some baskets up there, and now we are working on the woodworking area, and I wanted to have these like rugs on the floor just to kind of like soundproof and just to kind of like soften up this space. So we are just going to be adding an art easel shortly. I feel like it made sense to have like the art easel right next to the sink, right next to the carpenter's table. I feel like both art and carpentry kind of need to have a sink. Honestly, I haven't really done much carpeting at all, so I'm not really speaking out of experience. I just wanted to have a little like art craft area in this garage, and so it might be where the kid gets like their artistic skills from. You'll see later on in the video that I do make a little art area in that bedroom. But first, we are in the backyard, and since I am using the Toddler Stuff pack, I wanted to make sure I use the string lights from this pack. And I know you can like get string lights off of the gallery. I think it's like some sort of like debug item, but I don't always like going into the gallery. I kind of feel like I'm cheating the system. And so when I rolled the pack for Toddler Stuff pack, I decided, I'm like, yes, now I can use these string lights. And so I wanted to make little different play spots for the kids. I wanted this to be like the neighborhood spot for everybody, and so we are going to be making a little toddler area kind of more inside of the grill area, which I imagined where that's where the parents would be. And then since the kids don't need as much watching, I have the swing set kind of more around the corner. So we are just going to be adding some flowers. I do also add a chess table onto the little back porch area, and now we are going to be adding that. So this is a pretty simple area. It's pretty much done, and now we are going to be adding a little plant onto the dining room table and heading upstairs to where all three of the bedrooms are and two of the bathrooms. So first we're just going to be working on this hallway space, and I just wanted this to just kind of be filled with like family pictures. So we are going to be first working on the kids' bedroom, and this is a pretty skinny bedroom, and so I wanted to make sure to have a desk loft bed in this area, and we are just going to be kind of figuring out a color scheme throughout the design of this bedroom. And so I just want to say thank you so much to those who have hit the like and subscribe button. It means so much to me that you take the time out of your day to watch my videos. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, it's free, no cost, and I post new videos every single Tuesday. And if you like more shorter videos, leave a comment down below for like a tiny house idea. I have done a few in my past, just like kind of like recently. So if you want to check those out, or you haven't checked those out, please do go check those out after this video. And so back to the build, we're just going to be kind of finishing up this area with some wall decals and some empty picture frames for your sim to add their own personal touch. Maybe that could be like baby pictures that they have in those frames, or like them growing up. So we are just going to be adding some little bit more play items. Did want to add some toys that like only the child wants to play with, and like it like can keep it away from the younger siblings. So we are going now into the toddler and infant room. This is a large room, and so it made sense to have this area be shared between an infant and a toddler in my mind. I did want to add a reading nook area, so this little bump out where there's that like wallpaper, that's where the reading nook ends up being. And I kind of took inspiration from reading nooks I've seen on Pinterest. So the bookshelves are kind of like on the interior, and then like you can like grab one when you're like sitting on the couch. I feel like it looked really cozy, and so I wanted to imitate that in The Sims. And I wasn't fully sure if your Sims would be able to get to that bookshelf because of the couch, and so I do add a third bookshelf. It's that like baby bookshelf that is by the door to the bedroom, and so we are just going to be adding some toddler items. And see, I have the changing table. I kind of wanted to take this room into sections, so there is a changing table area on the right side, the bedroom area on the left side, and then the reading nook in the center of the room. And I tried to keep it kind of plain and neutral for you to add your own Sims personalities into this room. I wasn't really trying to design for anything other than a toddler and an infant. I wasn't trying to like make anything too personal into this space. I did want to go for more of a fun toddler room, but I know that maybe how I design a toddler room may not be how you want to play in a toddler room. I did want to add this little like dresser that has like little like clothes on it, because I was imagining that the toddler would be kind of in that like independent stage where they want to dress themselves, but they kind of need some help, but they don't want like instruction from their parents. And so having that like visual on the baskets probably helps the toddler get dressed in the morning. Again, just kind of making this like a realistic space that you could get into, or you could possibly live in yourself. So we are going to be now in the bathroom. I've done this bathroom pretty quick because it is just kind of an odd shape, but luckily there was the perfect little niche for the shower tub combo, and so everything else is kind of like worked around that area. So we are just going to be adding some rugs and then going into the primary suite. And this bedroom is really large, and so you can see I'm kind of like trying to like make a game plan from this like bird's eye view, and I ended up making like a large walk-in closet and then having like a primary and ensuite on the opposite side. And so I'm going to be using this bed from the Growing Together pack, and I wanted there should be a TV in this space just to kind of make it more cozy. And there's like not really any other TVs in this area, and so I wanted the parents to have like their own private TV area. I also realized that I didn't show where I put the laptop. I honestly forgot to add that area into this video, and so I do put it by the front door of the house. And if you want to see the exact location and items I put on that desk computer area, you can watch the screenshots towards the end of the video, which is honestly going to be pretty soon because this is the last space in this house. So we are just going to be adding some curtains. I knew I wanted to have a chair in that corner, and whenever I have some empty space, I just kind of like try to make it work, but then it honestly sometimes has to come down to just like making a little like brick wall for your Sims to like not be able to get into, a little like barrier almost, just to kind of like help fill in that space. And it's kind of similar to the garage where it's like that like water heater or like pipes of the house. So there are a few of those in this bedroom just to kind of like help fill in the space. I didn't want to add too much like stuff into this bedroom and bathroom area, so we are just kind of copying and pasting items from the first kid's bedroom into the second bedroom bathroom, and now we are just going to be finishing up this video. So if you enjoyed watching, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and if you want to play in this home, you can find all the information down in the description, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!